Yo, what's good, y'all? You dub back here again, here in 2019. Let's get it. Bringing y'all that more new, fresh content. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you hear a more serious tone. A lot of times I start off a lot more entertaining. But in this is more of a podcast style video. This set is the beginning of a series of videos known as Unfiltered. The unvarnished. Now, y'all know how I be. I keep 1,000 at all times. But presently, this will only be here on this channel. Hopefully, it expands big enough to where maybe other podcast sites and maybe it'll blow up or whatever. See, most people keep it PC. People keep it politically correct, or they keep it between the lines. Now I won't be out here saying some old wild, dumb mess, right? But what you will hear is you will hear the truth from me, without question. People who are close to me, they know how I get down. People who've known me for a long time know how I get down. And so unfiltered represents a complete, not off the rails, not derailed, but a complete unbridled, controlled fury, controlled rage behind a lot of these subjects that I will talk about and will address. You know, I'm going to come from perspectives that you probably are not familiar with, that you're probably not used to hearing. That it may, as the old folks say, will step on some toes, will potentially make some people uncomfortable. That's okay. Some of this stuff will probably not be safe for work. There will be some potential jokes and things that are stated that, people may not be cool with. And that's okay. I'm here to build discussion. I'm here to keep it real, keep it all the way authentic with y'all, all the way 1,000 all the times. Y'all already know how I get down. But to talk how we be talking out here with different folks from all walks of life. Feel me? I know people from across the globe. I talk with people from across the globe, and I hear different perspectives. Most of the stuff that you will never hear in the mainstream media, and I think that's the reason why, in my mind, it started formulating a couple weeks ago, I believe. And so I'm finally here. And in this first episode, let's talk about this online censorship. Let's talk about this social media. And I think I'm the perfect person to talk about it. Because when it comes to social media game, my first experience was with YouTube, right? Going back all the way back to '06. I've had a channel since '08. I've detailed my long history. I've been making videos. I've been part of it. Originally I was with, to a degree, the video game community, but the gaming community became so toxic and cancerous, your boy had to get on out of here. Your man's like, nah, I'm good, fam. And so around 2010, 2011, I joined the YouTube anime and manga community. By the time, let's see, the late 2012, excuse me, and 2013, I started making videos now. Some of my earliest videos even involved sports. I've done all kinds of videos, and that's how I've always wanted my channel. Unexpected Wonder. There's a lot of meaning behind that, but I've spoken about that another time and previously as well. The thing about it is, I joined MySpace probably around the time it was at its highest point. I intentionally always wait, except for YouTube, because I kind of organically got involved with YouTube. But as far as social media sites, I always allow for it to give its time. I allow for it to go beyond its nascent stage to formulate and get big. Some sites I don't have. I don't have a Snapchat. Never had that. Never found a need for it. I got on MySpace at the Apex, around the time of his Apex, and it was going great. It was the beautiful thing about MySpace is you didn't. It was huge, but it wasn't a super big. It didn't get big enough to where it was corporate, right? And so we all knew the first friend Tom. There was jokes on that, but you could still even customize your own page. You could have your own styles. People were doing their own stuff, right? It was freedom back in the day, just like it was a Wild West era of YouTube. People could do practically as they want within reason. No, no, I don't think no porn, and a few other things. But other than that, no, it was great. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us young folks, it was a place. While Facebook at the time was just this kind of clinical and whatnot, MySpace was the kind of hood version. It was urban. It was, it was youthful. It was viral and whatnot. But MySpace started becoming graveyard. And then I was around 2010 is when I joined FB when I joined Facebook. Still have Facebook. I have a long history with Facebook. But the thing about it is, I remember when adults were against it, then even your grandma started joining Facebook, which is cool. It's a good way to keep in touch. I know it started with, college friends and then expanded and whatnot. But it was, first of all, they changed up too much. You you had too many different factions, too many different thoughts. You had groupthink, but it was still some freedom. Okay, still some freedom. I do have a Twitter. Don't ever use it. I have it active. If I become famous, then I may have it active. But currently, I don't really have it active. And because to me, Twitter's a cesspool, and I don't understand why. I remember when they had no power, and then it had power, just like within a 2 year window between 2012 to 2015, it exploded, absolutely exploded in its influence, social influence. And I'm going, why? It's not even the highest level of intellectual thought. But then that's why, because in this era, it's about the C level student. It's about the mediocrity. It's about complacency and apathy. Okay, it's not about let's strive for greatness. Let's go at the highest level of success. No, 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 no. We don't believe in that. We don't want people to empower themselves to become, you know, no self development. We want people just to be another cog in the system. Just take up the ass and you're good. Just just get anal raped and you're good. Just good. Just continuously bend over and just take whatever's given to you. Don't talk back. Just be the complete yes man, yes woman, kiss ass. Be the corporate, junkie. Just be a slave is what wants you to be, right? If you rock the boat, oh, you're gonna have some problems. Now, here's the funny thing about this, because you have people getting banned and whatnot. Have you ever seen my channel get shut down? I've said some controversial stuff. Never seen me get shut down. But there's stuff I'll get you. There's different forms of censorship than what y'all are aware of. Everything's not as blatant as what it may seem. When it comes to FB, my page never got deactivated. I went on the DL, went down low for a lot of stuff. I've said a lot of stuff. I've told people, even in messages and stuff, some of my old statuses and stuff. Dude, if the feds really wanted me and I became as influential, they could have easily locked me up for about 10 different federal offenses. Nothing that I did was technically illegal, but treason, um, conspiracy to and potentially inside a riot, or a number of false charges I could have gotten hit with if they really wanted me to. See, people are stupid when it comes to this stuff. There's censorship and then there's stupidity. People be stupid on how they utilize social media. I'll be the first to say it. I've seen some dumb, oh, this page got taken down. The first thing that comes out of my mouth, especially in this day and age, especially in 2019, from 2017 to 2019, what did that person do? What was said? Because listen, trust me, I've said probably worse. Not been touched. Not been touched. I've had homies who had pages locked, Facebook jail and stuff. Never once have touched me, and I guarantee you, it was never anything cruel, no sexual content on that matter. Now, interpersonal messaging is a whole different animal altogether. But but as far as publicly putting things out there, it's a public domain. I can post what I want to. Yeah, and you can deal with this work too. You get these repercussions too. The consequences of your actions still actually matter. Now there be some bullshit out here. No lies. No capping, as they say in this day and age. Right? Some channels are being banned. Some pages are being banned because of an agenda. All right, we get that. But listen, dog, I guarantee if y'all go through my content, y'all will know I've said I've openly not full blown as of yet. You'll hear more later, definitely. My anarchist views. Channel's still good, ain't it? But here's what they do. You see my black ass, you see my face. My soul count has been suppressed like a motherfucker. It's been suppressed like a mug, y'all. It makes no damn sense how long I've let me get on y'all. And I'm gonna get on with Steven Crowder, Alex Jones, and the rest in a minute. But let me talk about this first. This is one way that they suppress you. There's open banning, but one of the things Zach Delaroche said, bullet he had no Bulls on Parade. I wanted to make sure I love Bulls on Parade. It's my favorite song by Rage Against the Machine. They don't have to burn a book; they just remove them. While large warehouses fill in crooked shelves. He's referring to multiple times throughout history. There's ancient Chinese history. I believe the Nazis did as well. They don't have to burn, well, ancient Chinese history, burning books. But there's been different points in history where you just remove books. It's on some world government status in One Piece. We're just going to remove the history. We're just going to wipe it out of there, right? We're going to get y'all out of there. Y'all see the banning. Y'all see what they've done with Alex Jones and such. Y'all see what they do with some of these big channels that become a threat. That's what they do. And people recognize it. But what about the smaller channels? Smaller channels. My channel is a beautiful channel of a representation of another type of suppression. Regardless of just banning or demonetization. Because that's another way they get you. Purse strings. Become so big that these places become businesses, right? You know, different ones you may like. I remember Chibi reviews. Different ones were crying and getting emotional over it. I get it. You can do work. Some of these channels are so damn big. Comic Story and Eligible Monster. Even though theirs is a whole different element, they're not being in their political factor, but it's just something to consider. Alex Jones with Infowars, Steven Crowder with Louder with Crowder, and there's more, right? Mark Dice, where demonetization, that's another way and incentivize that you play by our rules, you play by our game, or else we're going to cut your funding. Now, you can say, well, sponsors and advertisers, they have the right to deny. But when you have an entity, a medium that's supposed to be a public platform, a free platform, it's supposed to be YouTube, right? Now you can say, well, YouTube then don't have any money in the game. Fine. I'm all cool with that. I'm from the era of the Wild West. Before you made money, I didn't give a damn. But if you're going to allow for this, if you're going to allow for your CNN, your MSNBC, whoever else, your Fox, you're allow them to be potentially monetized. But then when you want to target a specific group, now we got a problem. It's immoral and it's unethical, as well as it's borderline illegal. And I, as an anarchist, don't even like pulling out the legality card, but it's something to be considered. Potential collusion, where you have different sites all agreeing to not allow for certain content simultaneously. Oh yeah, we got some problem. Google, Facebook, Twitter, potentially Instagram. I do have an Instagram as well. Got that. Tumblr as well. I was all late to the party with those as well. And it's still more open with Instagram and such. But though again, those aren't the influential movers. They have some influence, but they're not the influential movers. Tumblr originally, I said, "What's the point?" Then I had one. I haven't been on Tumblr in probably a year or two, so there is that. When you have another type of expression, so we just outright ban you. You don't get a say. You get excommunicated from our community. We go to cut your funding. That's the second type. Third type of suppression, and they talk about this. This happens with bigger channels. They talk about it to say, not coming up in subscription fees, not coming up in related videos, not coming up. Pretty much the message not getting out. That's a third way to do it. Not allowing you to be able to access what you want to do. Pretty much, we're gonna dictate and quarantine. We're gonna steer you like your cattle, like your sheep, to where we want you to go. We don't want you to touch this content. We're not going to outright, because they're too powerful. We're not going to outright cause a stink, but we're going to direct you away. We're going to be subversive. Plenty of channels have talked about this. Fourth way that nobody ever talks about. My channel's affected by this. Y'all see my face. Y'all see my face. I've been in the YouTube game, and I haven't come out here. Y'all haven't really heard me come out and do rants. I don't do that. But I'm going to keep it real for the people. That's what these videos are for. Dog, I've been in this YouTube game 5, 6 years. My subs make no sense. I don't want to hear, oh, the content and quality. I don't want to hear about the length of my videos. I don't want to hear any of this. I know I'm one of the most infamous, top 10 most infamous people in YouTube anime and manga history. Plenty folks know me, factually. I'm cool. I got social media connection, everything else. We're a bunch of bigger dudes in the community. Bunch of legends. No folk. I'm connected. I'm a made man as far as the community is. But my sub count and view count doesn't show it. Although I do get views on certain videos. Some of them unexpectedly. No pun intended. The thing, you look at it and you sit here like, wait a second, wonder. My sub count remains relatively consistent for the long period of time. I see no growth. People talk about, oh, well, if I didn't grow, bro, I've been at 500 some subs for I can't even remember how long. And there was a point I did a hiatus. I have dudes who I know who don't even drop videos getting subs. They're not even active, bro. I put out a hell of a lot of content. I've seen channels blow up. I've seen channels and communities blow up and shit, right? I've seen it come and go. I've seen people get out the game. I've seen people stay in the game. I've seen people come in and out of the game, right? I know this YouTube game. I can speak on this YouTube game. I know the level of quality. People say, well, your audio, bro, I've seen people do crap videos get blow up. I'm not going to even get on the fact about the sexist part, and I be subliminally talking about this. But the sexist part of it, if I had a vagina, if I was a woman, my channel would have been blown up. Factual. If my black ass did not show my face like I do, my channel would have been blown up. My channel, shout outs, I love me some Pharaoh Space. I love me, Brago Diaz. I love a lot of videos, a lot of these cats. Joy Boy, they didn't show their faces. Now, Joy Boy ain't a brother like me. But the thing is, a lot of these dudes didn't really show their faces like that, right? I have been. Oh, we can't. And I'm undeniably black. You can say, well, are you throwing out the racist card? I want to know. But I'm calling what it is. Also, the kind of content I bring, I don't be cooning out here. I'm no Uncle Tom. I'm not out here just for the clickbait. I'm not out here just for the views. I'm not out here just to entertain. I'm not out here just to say whatever's PC and cool with the mainstream overlords. My channel drops truth. My channel out here is to educate folks. My channel deals intellectual and deep dive. They are anti-intellectual. They are. There's a hell of a lot of quality channels that should be having hundreds of thousands, if not millions of subs that don't. They want you to fall in line. And every time these channels get out of line, they come for your dome. Part of the reason I'm glad I don't have a bigger channel. Now, I wouldn't mind getting them checks. A brother gotta eat out here. A brother won't do things. But I've always said I'm glad I fly under the radar so they don't come with a scope for my ass. So they don't come with copyright strikes. You never see me getting any of them because I don't use copyrighted material. But you want to know about the demonetization game? Many a times I had thumbnails that were completely edited and everything demonetized when I was getting monetized. I never made it that much. They never allowed for my channel to succeed because they don't want a channel like mine out here. They don't want channels out here that's going to bring y'all complete, unbiased, objective, neutral perspectives that ain't going to kowtow and kiss ass anybody. They don't want that. They want you to be, let me laugh at this video. Let me take a selfie. I have nothing wrong with selfies. I have nothing wrong with laughing at videos. I have a good time. That's something that some of my friends and some folk who are acquainted with me get confused. I have I have no problem. Trust me, bro. We have living life out here. You better believe that. Best believe I'll be living life out here. But we only gonna live this life once, right? You may believe in reincarnation. I see no scientific, historical, nor philosophical reason for it. But anyways, people say life is short. YOLO, we only live once, right? People ain't acting like they live once. So if I'm going to live this life, why not seriously? gotta be serious sometimes. Until it personally affects you or someone you love or someone close to you. No, now you get all upset and outraged and oh my God, I can't believe that. You didn't say shit when stuff was going on. You didn't talk about. Let me show you what I mean by people. And people allowing for social media. They pressure social media for censorship. See, it's a dirty game. It's not you can't just blame these social media sites and their agendas. You gotta also blame the people. Because there's power in the people. People have the power. Dog, I remember going way back. I don't even know if y'all remember this. Egyptian, pretty much that was almost a revolution. The Syrian Civil War. And I'll end this video with this. Okay? Because I don't want these videos to be too long unless necessary. The time around, even before the Syrian Civil War. And I was saying, if the U.S., and I don't believe in U.S. intervention, but if the U.S. is going to get involved now. Right? You had people out here. This is the time we're dealing in Iraq, Afghanistan for multiple years, right? U.S. has been involved in so many foreign conflicts, but when people are in a humanitarian problem, when you have this ugly regime, right? No U.S. involvement, right? People, pretty much leave those brown people to die. That's how it always is across the globe. South American nations, Central American nations, African nations, Near East, Oriental nations, Middle East. It's always leave the brown people to die, right? Oh, as soon as Paris gets somewhat of attack, Belgium, bunch of white folks. Hate to break it to you, I don't like bringing up the race, but that's what it appears. There was a time around I believe 2015 where people were like, yo, but what about Nigeria? Around the same time, them Paris bombers. But what about Nigeria? See what I'm saying? Or what about Kenya? Or what about Uganda? These things just fly on the radar. People with my complexion are darker. But we don't give a fuck about them. Why would we, right? And so, and I'm seeing these people getting massacred. But then you have some people, hands off. Oh, U.S. has military forces in the Middle East, fam. Not too far away. Like, we have bases all across the globe. The United States has bases across the globe, which I don't agree with. Dr. Ron Paul and many others don't agree with. But whole other point. The thing is, people, we don't want ground troops. We don't want. So we don't give a damn that hundreds of thousands of people can just be body bagged by a totalitarian regime. And then you wonder why people rise up. But if any of that kind of stuff happened in the U.S. soil, we're going to take up guns, right? Oh, no. Bad guns, guns bad. But that's a whole other debate. The point being from this video, the takeaway, or 3 points really. Number one, platforms have the right to have rules of conduct. But be fair, especially if it's a discourse you don't necessarily agree with. Be fair in your application of your rules. Number two, be aware that the mediums of communication, information has always been controlled, whether it be newspapers, television, radio, magazine, you name it, print media, online media. They're still controlled. And you think we free? We ain't free out here. We ain't free out here. You have people out here like Dave Rubin saying they want to make tech companies because of these monopolistic situations going on out here. And three, free your mind. Don't just believe every headline. Actually read articles. Actually do due diligence and research. Don't bring your biased perspectives into things. Actually go in and think. Become a free thinker. I know not everybody is a free thinker, but seriously, take time to actually think out here. Because if you don't, and you allow other people to think for you, you're just going to be one of the sheeple and slaves for the rest of your life. You're never going to reach your true successful, your true best self. You're never going to truly be a pillar of a community. Your family's not going to get to where it should be. A bunch of stuff I can say. You can say, well, wonder, what do you necessarily do in your life? People say, I'm still young. I've tried multiple things. Things haven't just panned out. But that's another thing. People think, they see this, they need to see this outward success. Well, what about the character of a man, the integrity? What about one's mind? There are little subtle things you can do because all things are relational, even business, especially business, economics, everything's relationships. There's a lot of subtle principles that people need to look at, and there's a reason why people are not successful in their lives. But part of what's suppressing the success for a lot of individuals, such as myself, is because of this censorship. And censorship isn't always this obvious edifice. Use a One Piece reference and I'm done. Cypher pole. Bust a call. That's a lot of the suppression and censorship we have going on out here in the online waters. Unexpected Wonder, like, comment, subscribe, tell me your thoughts. There will be other episodes of this, and it will range in all kinds of topics and discussions, so stay tuned. This will be in a playlist, ladies and gentlemen. All right, y'all, have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Stay safe, and once again, emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds.